now, the egregious adventures of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Stutson. How they solve crimes is a mystery.
You see anything yet, Sherlock?
Not yet, Stetson, but I've long believed that the killer has been holed up inside this old school. So all we have to do is be patient and wait.
Say, what kind of school is that anyway? College? High school? Veterinarian?
Elementary, my dear Stetson. Oh, man. Okay, get a DVD, and these are all. What the? What is that flame? Mute. Oh, yes. Stop! All right. Hey, guys, come here. Guys, come here. Real quick.
What's
Hey,
up? What?
gather around. Listen, guys.
What?
There's a big fly in here, and I can't take it. I'm trying to concentrate on the movies. We got to kill this thing. Terry, give me a fly swatter, all right? Don, find something. Just fly. Give me something to fly. You know, get some. You guys, whatever. Put your heads together. We got a big fly. Yeah, find something that will get rid of a fly. All right, go. God, can't even think of the thing flying around. I got a DVD and a bunch of VHS. God. Oh, this thing's driving me insane. Oh, all right, Terry, cool. Give me the fly swatter. We're gonna get this thing. Give me fly. What is that? That's not fly swatter.
Swatter? You said fly sweater.
Just go. Just go. You're. Where's Don? Don.
Hey, Rich.
What do you got for me, buddy?
I got an autographed picture of Vincent Price from the movie The Fly.
Cool. Let's squash that fly with it.
No.
Thanks a lot, Don. For nothing. I knew he wouldn't be no help. Hey, here comes my guys right now. Come on, guys. What do you got for me? This thing's driving me insane. That thing wants me bad. What do you got for me? Tell me something.
You know, when you need something, you come to us. We'll get it done.
Okay.
Get it done.
All right. What do you got?
We got a hold of Hoolihan and Big Chuck.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Why did you? I didn't ask for a skit. What?
No skit. They said they know just who to call.
Okay.
This guy. Problem solved.
Hi there, new
You're right. Problem is solved. He's a dead duck. Thanks, buddy.
Our viewers displaying your talent. The show where you get to control your own destiny. So without further ado, here is our...
Last time I do anything to help you.
Hello, sir, and what is your...
Well, we're up.
Well, no way.
He nodded. I saw a nod.
After last week's show, Rocco said Vern is the only logical one here. So, Vern,
This is
start
what
the show.
happens. This is what happens.
only
Welcome
logical.
to the Midnight Movie. Now they're all
We
salty.
appreciate all the toilet paper that you sent us. Don't help him.
He had to get that because last week he was mad.
Yeah, we appreciate all the toilet paper. Hey, you know what?
He's still crying.
We're in the G spot again.
Uh-oh. Should I be
Yeah,
here?
we're in
I'm
the G-spot.
underage.
Holy crap, what the hell?
Do you need
Get
an
out of here
adult?
with that.
I think so. Won't you be my neighbor? I really enjoy talking to people. Just saying.
What the hell's going on?
It's no Chad and Bunny. Hey, Chad and Bunny, look, they're trying to replace you.
Got a
I
Vern.
like
Yeah,
Chad
and
and
there's
Bunny. Bunny, funny.
Chad and Honey. Brad and Honey. Well, I will tonight because it's the woman in green.
I think Rocco's going to have a big book.
I think Rocco's going to have a big talk with us one of these days.
Do you think I'll make the book?
The executive producer, Todd, ever gets wind
Oh, I
of the
think you make the
shenanigans.
book.
I think you made the book.
Anyways,
Yeah, what's the movie tonight?
we got to get down the road. We can't deal with just the shenanigans constantly.
No shenanigans.
Tonight's an awesome
kept-
film if you like Sherlock Holmes because it's.
The woman in
Hurry,
green.
quick, it's a
I thought that was my high sugar alert. I thought I was going to have to fly to the sun real quick. What's that from?
Even the birds are running.
Anybody?
What?
None of you nerds know that. I got to fly to the sun real quick.
What?
Anybody?
What?
The beep, beep, beep. I got to fly to the sun real quick.
What?
Superman?
Nope.
Aquaman?
Nope.
Batman?
Nope.
The Flash?
Nope.
Green Lantern?
Nope. I'm looking at this guy.
I'm drawing a blank.
Gamera.
Closer.
Godzilla.
Closer. You're getting closer in the right vein.
Ultraman. Johnny Sacco.
Ultraman!
Hey, I got there.
Ultraman!
Hey,
Oh.
Ah!
Fool
Johnny Sacco.
Yeah, you thought I was going to say...
Get the book.
Johnny Sacco, when his robot started going, it took him half the show just to do all his
What do you like better
calisthenics.
growing up? Sacco or Ultraman?
Johnny Sacco.
Ultraman.
Ultraman for me.
Why?
Johnny Sacco.
Really?
Johnny Sacco, yeah. Because I like that one guy.
Terry, put it in reverse. Put it.
This is some of the worst puppeteering.
That's probably why my
puppet,
favorite
does
Godzilla
that have a
movie
name?
is Godzilla vs. Megalon.
What's
Because
that
of
next
Jet
over your
Jaguar.
shoulder?
Jet Jaguar reminded me of
You got a
Ultraman.
name?
Okay.
Eddie.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay,
So anyways,
what's the next movie?
it's The Woman in Green,
Woman in
Sherlock
Green.
Holmes.
It's a Sherlock Holmes movie.
Yeah,
With the actual Basil Rathbone.
It
yeah.
was one of Kirk's
How did we
favorite
get
women.
this?
And the actual Nigel Bruce,
How did
because
we? Is this a midnight
there's
movie
4
premiere?
of them. They're in the public domain.
Then
Yeah.
how come before, when we asked to show Sherlock Holmes, it was always Christopher Lee, we never showed this one?
Oh, we've showed this back.
Maybe
just-
it was the way you
I just
said
verped,
it.
and the hot sauce just came up.
He
So my
verped.
tonsils are
Bitch.
He verped.
on fire right now.
Well, we're showing it, and tonight we're showing, I believe, the first in some of our newest skits that we've been working on. Way before other skits were being worked on that were similar to this.
I can attest to that.
Yes. But
what are the skits called?
the egregious adventures of Sherlock Groans and Dr. Stetson.
I love Dr.
Yeah.
Stetson.
I can attest they were filming these long ago.
Yes. So, yeah.
Long.
So, anyways.
Well, go to the first part
movie.
of Sherlock Holmes. Then I can tease a really good face-off. I can just wait to see what you guys guess for this
Made
one.
it.
All right. Woman in Green.
Woman in Green.
Woman in Green.
Lady was black.
Yeah, that's
That
Kirk's favorite woman, man.
Do you want to be?
is true.
I won't forget that morning, not if I live to be 100. I counted the men as they marched out of the yard. They'd hardly slept for weeks. We of the CID had slept even less, but the nightmare that kept us awake was all the same nightmare. That's why we weren't surprised when the commissioner asked us up to the conference room for a bit of a talk. He'd talked to us plenty, we knew that. It didn't help any to know what was ahead of us.
Must we have that window open, Gregson?
Oh, shut it if you want to.
Chief will be in enough of a temper without having a ruddy blast down the back of his neck. Gentlemen, the commissioner. Stuffy in here. Be seated, won't you? Gentlemen, if you wish to know what able men you are, read any of the works of popular fiction that glamorize your achievements, but don't, I beg of you, read the daily papers. They might give you an inferiority complex. I hate to mention it, but we're confronted with a series of the most atrocious murders since Jack the Ripper. And in the meantime, The CID might as well be playing at shove halfpenny for all the good we've accomplished. Now look. Here, here, and here. Each of these red flags scattered through the city stands for a woman brutally murdered, a woman's terror, a woman's death agony. These are no ordinary crimes. These are the works of a fiend who kills first and mutilates afterwards. A ghoul who hacks off a part of his victim's body and carries it away with him. A loathsome souvenir of his butchery. 3 women murdered so far, and you haven't turned in one clue. You haven't given me one lead. Here you sit and wait for news of a 4th victim, with your arms folded.
Well, we hadn't long to wait. It was down Lambeth Way where a young woman was hurrying home late last night. She saw something and stopped. It was a constable. He spoke to her and he walked along with her, just in case. He saw her go down the stairway to the basement lodging where she lived. We can only surmise what happened after that. Pride in my pocket and went to see the man who so often helped out Inspector Lestrade and myself in the past, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. If ever a man needed help, I did.
This makes 4, Inspector. 4 defenseless women here in the heart of London.
And everyone with the right forefinger hacked off.
Not hacked, Inspector Gregson. Cleanly, expertly severed. The work of a skilled surgeon. That's our only clue.
Much about the age of my sister's girl. Is there no way of stopping this, Mr. Holmes?
Yes. There's a way, somehow. The fiend that did this. I promise. I promise.
We've nothing to go on. That's the rotten part of it. We can't get far without knowing the motive.
Well, at least we know what the motives were not. It wasn't robbery, nor passion, thanks be, nor yet vengeance. Because they all came of totally unrelated families. Steady, Inspector, steady.
Sorry, Mr. Holmes. I don't turn a hair when it's a bloke who can look after himself. A little slip of a thing like that.
Yes, it's horrible. Come on, let's get a drink. Holmes, Evening, Vincent. Whiskey and soda, please, and a double for my friend here, Inspector Gregson.
Thank you, sir. Make mine Irish. Decent of you to give me a hand with this thing, Mr. Holmes.
Always a pleasure to be of help to Scotland Yard, Inspector.
Little out of my line. Looking for a maniac who murders just for the fun of it.
Or perhaps just to get a human finger. In all 4 cases, the murderer risked capture by stopping to secure a finger. Well, what for?
Who knows? He's just a madman.
Perhaps there's method in his madness. If we could just trace those missing fingers.
If we could just drain the English Channel, we might find a penny. Huh?
Oh, thank you. You may keep those, Mr. Holmes. Thank you.
Sir George Fenwick, isn't it?
Yes.
Is that his daughter with him?
Don't be so naive, Inspector.
You know everyone, don't you, darling?
Well, hardly. A week ago, I didn't know you.
A week. How fast it's gone.
I collect these things.
How very quaint of you.
Shall we go?
Yes.
What are you looking at, Mr. Holmes?
Looking at a very handsome woman. Not fond of the purple, but giving an excellent imitation.
Would you like to come to my flat for a nightcap?
Lovely idea.
Yes, isn't it?
I wonder where she's taking Sir George Fenwick.
Don't be so naive, Mr. Holmes.
Good evening, Mum. Hello, Grandin. Any messages? No, Mum. Thank you. Drinks, Grandin. One of your nice surprises. Yes, Mum.
I say, you don't mean that...
Grandin's a marvel, aren't you, Grandin? Yes, Mum. You wouldn't believe the things she can do.
Ah, charming face. Delightful.
Really? You think so? I'm so glad. You sit down. Do you mind?
Do I mind? What a question. I don't mind anything, really. Except not being with you.
Now, you really don't want me to believe that, do you?
Not too seriously.
Good. We're both quite grown up, aren't we?
Quite.
And now, the egregious adventures of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Stutson. How they solve crimes is a mystery.
You will come into a large sum of money.
Woo-hoo! Anything else?
You will meet the woman of your dreams.
Woo-hoo! Anything else?
And your medical practice.
What about it?
Will prosper, and you will be named Doctor of the Year!
Anything else?
The spirits are spoken. I am exhausted. No more.
Very well. How much do I owe you, sir?
Let's see. $50 will be sufficient.
Not so fast, my good man. This man is a charlatan. He has no more spiritual power than you or I.
How do you know, Sherlock?
Elementary, my dear Stetson. Obviously, he's very shady looking. Cheap material, a Halloween hat. Secondly, I believe his responses were tailor-made to suit your needs. He just things you wanted to hear. And
anything else?
Yes. The most important. The fortune-telling ball was a snow globe! Oh, man.
Isn't anybody still in the Christmas spirit?
Will at least get a one?
Hey guys, come on, we got a production meeting. For one thing, what do you guys want to eat next week? I got the menu.
Good question, good question.
It's pretty good. You had that before?
No, never.
I want to see what that one we've done.
Okay. Yeah, what did you have last week?
Chimichanga.
Oh, okay. I don't see that on there.
Yeah, we'll get that for that.
Hey.
Okay.
There's no over here.
Okay, that's more good.
Who's this guy over here?
I don't know. I thought he was with you.
No.
Yeah, why not? Can't we get some picture margarita? I don't know. Maybe he's with Mike. I don't know.
I'm tired of him bringing people down without phone.
Or introducing them. I thought you brought him.
I was Mike because Mike
Yeah,
brings all the weirdos
yeah,
down
that's
here and
true.
hang out. Eat
Mike
our
brings a
food.
lot of people down.
Should we give him food?
Hey, come on.
Now, how hard is this? You do this every week. You want the usual?
Usually.
You want the usual?
Yeah.
You want the usual?
Yeah.
See, it's not that hard to pick a menu. You want the usual?
No.
Well, Dave has to be different.
He's always got to be different.
Yeah.
You want the usual?
Apparently, I don't know. Who's he? I don't know.
Dave. Who is that guy?
I don't know. I thought he was with you.
He's not with me.
Well, he's not with me.
Hey, buddy. Who are you?
I'm a viewer.
We have a viewer?
What's that?
Wow. How did you get in here?
What are you doing here?
Came down here to find out why this show's so bad. Now I know.
The nerve. Well, we had a viewer. Oh, well. Come on, where's that menu?
So I'll take the usual.
You take the usual.
Hey, are these chocolate chips?
Ow! Ooh, ow.
Stay till 5.
Ah! I'm staying here in the guest room.
Who
in the
lit the
studio
Olympic
tonight.
torch, by the way?
It is the Olympics. Put it in reverse tear. Reverse tear.
The Olympic torch.
That's what G said.
Johnny Weissmuller.
Get on that shirt. That's what G said.
That's what, get on that shirt.
That's what G said.
Ah!
Got a picture of Terry. All right, I'm going to
All right.
tease the face off
Let's
since we
get
got
going.
nothing else going on.
Let's make this show somewhat watchable, guys.
Somewhat?
Somewhat.
Somebody probably.
All right, I'll give you a tidbit first.
Okay.
When we were showing a Shore or a Basil Rathbone movie or something, I brought up the tidbit about Sherlock Holmes and the inspiration and how who's the author?
Conan Doyle.
No, the macabre.
M. Night Shyamalan.
No, well,
Edgar Allan Poe.
Back in the day.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, yes, where there was maybe one of his detectives that he was like the first detective.
Yeah, he did do a detective.
Right, but allegedly, possibly, maybe Conan Doyle stands by this. The inspiration to Sherlock Holmes, the character, was a friend of Conan Doyle's, Joseph Bell, who was a surgeon for the Royal Infirmary in Edinburgh.
He was on
the reason why.
Allegedly,
possibly, maybe. We don't know for sure, but it could be true. Is because of the way this surgeon, he would draw broad conclusions.
He would
from
draw
minute
broad
details.
conclusions.
So that's kind of how he got the inspiration to have Sherlock Holmes be the character that he is. So there's your tidbit for tonight on Sherlock Holmes.
Wow.
And that's an interesting tidbit.
Yeah, I think on that note, we should just all go to sleep right now.
Okay.
You can go to sleep if you want.
Oh, I snorted that stuff.
Yeah, I told you. I verped, and it came up and
You
it like,
verped.
it like
Did he say he
deteriorated part of my
Yeah, this went up in my sinus cavity.
So okay, I'm gonna tease the face off.
There he's teasing it back up.
Okay, tease me,
We
baby.
all have our favorite types of detectives and movies and shows, right?
Here we
I
go.
hope so.
We love those private.
I like gumshoes.
Who was the better detective? Who did you like better? Was it Sherlock Holmes? Or was it Columbo?
Well.
Hey, I got a good one.
That was just a Sherlock groan.
That's a good one.
I don't know.
Did you guys have a guess of what I was going to pick?
No, we didn't. We didn't go that far.
We didn't go that far.
Are we out?
Once is enough, huh?
No.
Seriously, are we out, please?
Puppeteering's hard. I have to keep my right hand.
You're a treasure, Crandon. And lower the lights a little as you leave. prefer a more flattering light.
In any light you'd be...
Would I?
And don't you know it?
Perhaps I do. Oh, that priceless woman. You wouldn't believe it, but she's absurdly romantic. She loves dreamy music, and she thinks that we...
But we do, don't we?
Do we?
Well, it's rather soothing, restful.
Yes. And we all need rest at times, like tired children who've played too long. You've played with wooden soldiers, I suppose.
Funny. Hadn't thought of that for years.
Toy boats were my special joy. Anything I could set afloat anywhere. Like this. And this. Toy boats sailing into the Never Never Land. A land of beautiful dreams. Look. Look, odd, isn't it, how the light is reflected? Little specks of light that move and move. Like stars on a slowly moving stream.
You know, Holmes, I'm very sensitive to atmosphere.
No?
Yes, I can tell by the feel of this room there's been a murder committed here.
It may interest you to know, my dear fellow, it was the other side of that door at the foot of the stairs that the poor girl was murdered. If only I could find it.
Find what?
The one thing these unfortunate victims have in common that might give us a motive for these murders. There must be something.
Another Jack the Ripper, if you ask me, a homicidal maniac.
No, Watson. In the case of Jack the Ripper, there was one thing in common. His victims were all from one walk of life, living in the same section of the city. In this case, the murderer chooses his victims from all walks of life and from different sections of the city. No, my dear fellow, this is not the work of a homicidal maniac. It's something infinitely more sinister.
You mean the creeps? What on earth are you talking about?
Watson, I'm convinced that these murders are only incidental to some larger and more diabolical scheme.
That may be, but why the severed fingers?
The answer to that question, my dear fellow, is our only hope of solving these mysteries.
Dear sister, I am so happy. I had such a lovely holiday at Brighton with you and Alf. And I'm looking forward to being with you again. Poor little thing. Sort of raises a lump in your throat. I can picture her sitting here happily writing this letter. And I'm not bit realizing that she's shortly going to her death. Hello? Gregson?
Oh, there you are, Mr. Holmes. I've been looking for you everywhere.
What's happened?
Murder in Edgware Road, not half an hour ago.
Woman?
Yes. And the right forefinger cut off clean.
Get your papers! Over murder, papers, all about the murder. Morning papers, all about the murder. Papers, horrible murder. Another young woman found murdered, papers here. Horrible murder, papers, papers, read all about it. Get your papers, murder in Edgware Road. Horrible thing to murder. Shocking murder, murder in Edgware Road. Horrible murder of a young woman. Read all about the murder.
Only fancy, Mum. There's been another of those horrible murders.
Dear, dear, how shocking.
Yes, Mum. I really don't feel quite safe here myself. Oh, dear.
must see Miss Marlowe at once.
I don't know if she...
I must see her. Where is she? Lydia.
Why, Sir George, what is it? What happened?
I don't know. You'll have to help me. You've got to help me.
But I don't understand.
Listen, I woke up a few minutes ago in a cheap boarding house off Edgware Road. I don't know how I came there. I don't know when. The last thing I remember is being here with you.
Calm yourself, Sir George.
When did I leave here?
Well, it was about, it was 10:45, Mum. Precisely. You seemed, forgive me, just a little distressed. Detached, not interested. I thought I'd said something to offend you.
I don't remember. I can't remember.
Tell me, has this happened to you before?
Before?
Well, there is such a thing as amnesia, you know.
If it was 10:45 when I left you, it was 9 this morning when I woke. Over 10 hours lost. 10 hours that I can't account for. And in my pocket when I woke, I found... Yeah, in my pocket. That isn't...
Oh, it's not for you, of course. It can't be. Excuse me, Mum, but there's a man asking to see the gentleman. Send him away. Yes, Mum.
No, please. I'll see him. Well? Delightful room. Not much like the place you woke up in this morning. You followed me here? Yes. Are you a detective? Oh, no. Quite the contrary. Don't be afraid, Sir George. You know my name? Oh, yes. A very old and highly honored name. And being the bearer of such a name, and also a very wealthy man, I thought you might care to possess yourself of this trifle. Rather than let it fall into the hands of the police. It is yours, if I'm not mistaken. The initials, GF. Where did you get this? It came out of your pocket. I saw it fall, but you never noticed. You were very busy, bending over something with a knife. Then you put something in your pocket.
And now, the egregious adventures of Sherlock Groans and Dr. Stutson. How they solve crimes is a mystery.
Well, Sherlock, have you come to the conclusion yet?
Not yet, Stetson, but I'm pretty sure the answer lies within this jumble of letters. Ah, Eureka! I was right. The answer is amongst these letters.
But where, Sherlock? I don't see anything.
I'm telling you, the answer is in these letters. Look closer, my friend.
I'm just not seeing it, Sherlock.
Stetson, do I gotta spell it out for you?
Oh, man.
Oh, Stetson, I give you a B for effort. There it is. Hey. You're making my armpits sweat now, girl. I'm sweating. I'm just gonna be. It's gonna be no questions. It's gonna be fast. Like, hey.
Can you send me a picture?
All right, here we go.
No. We've done that already.
Okay, here we are. Ghoulardi Fest 2016. And right at the end of it, we're here with Hoolihan himself, Mr. Bob Wells. Hey, how you doing today?
I'm doing
Doing fine, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm spectacular, but I'm glad to see you're doing good. 3 days of hard work. It's right at the end of the Ghoulardi Fest, and we
world note. This is fantastic and spectacular. Right here. Is the world ready for this? I'm sorry.
Do you really like that?
Do
that
go
much?
ahead.
Wait a second. Say more. No.
Been a long
this is,
day.
what do you think about
How much
that?
did you pay him to say that?
What about that?
It's like you light, you know.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. But anyway, we want to thank you for coming down and making this Ghoulardi Fest as spectacular, if even not more spectacular than the previous years. It's always great to see you. Great to see you in good health this year. And what do you got to say about this year's Ghoulardi Fest?
You know, it's such a pleasure to meet people because, you know, you do, as we did for 14 years, and Chuck did for 28 more years, you do it in the studio, and all you have is the cameramen who are kind of blasé, don't really give you a feedback on how well you did or didn't do, you know. But you get into a situation like this where people come up for 3 days and say, "We love you." You know, I mean, instant feedback, and it just, wow, that's great. I mean, I haven't been here since in town doing the thing, as you know, the Hoolihan Big Chuck show since 1979, and to come back here all these years later and have that kind of response, it's gratifying. It really is. I love you.
Well, I mean, I think we'd like to say, we love you.
Yeah, we do. I mean, if it wasn't for you and Chuck and John and all them, we wouldn't be doing what we do. So we love seeing you guys, and you know, I mean, this is what it's all about, because you don't have that type of program anymore where there's like the local personalities, and I can see the look on everybody's faces when they come to see you guys. I mean, they're just, you know, and to see you guys go up on stage. I mean, it's a thrill for everyone, and I can see it's a thrill for you guys as well. So we just want to say thank you for continuing to do this, and it's always a thrill for us to come here and help out as much as we can too. So thank you.
Yep. And remember, not to interrupt, but you're not just a pleasant memory. You're making new memories for us each and every day, and that's why we love to see you each year. And hey, you got to come out next year. If you didn't make it the past few years, Ghoulardi Fest, you got to come out next year and see these guys. They're awesome. They got more energy than any of us, and God bless them.
Thank you. Anytime I'm invited, I'll be here. I love Cleveland.
Can I invite you to my house for dinner?
I'm occupied tonight. I've got a date tonight. But next year, okay.
Next year, it's a date. I'm holding him to that. Okay. All right, we're going to let you get going back. Yeah, he's got a text coming, so we got to go.
Okay. We got to go.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Listen, what you been doing? Did you get your work done? I got all my work done, buddy. You said you were going to take out the garbage. You were going to clean up that one corner of the set, and you haven't moved. You're just sitting there reading a book. Get to it, buddy.
Dennis, E equals MC squared, okay? And furthermore, an isosceles triangle is one which has two equal sides, okay? Isosceles, based on the origin of the word from the Greek, which means equal legs. Denny, the angles that are opposite the equal sides are also equal. So an isosceles right triangle, one of the angles is a right angle, which means it measures 90 degrees. What do you think?
Rich! Don't get smart with me!
Come along, Holmes, come along, come along. How many more Harrisons, I tell you? You're missing a treat. This is delicious. Little jam tarts to follow. Aren't you tempted?
You and your flesh pots.
They tell me that fish is good for the brain.
Brains haven't any. You realize that a whole day and a night have gone by since that festive affair on Edgware Road? I'm as much in the dark as ever. Hello, here comes a client, unless I'm very much mistaken.
Well, attractive. Very attractive.
Obviously, she left home under the stress of some very great emotion.
How do you know that?
She isn't wearing any gloves. A startling omission in a young lady of fashion.
No, she didn't put her coat on. Open car, too.
Furthermore, there's something in that bag she wants to show me.
What makes you say that?
The bag doesn't match her dress, indicating it was picked for size rather than style, to accommodate some bulky object.
Sure, amaze me, Holmes.
What do you mention, my dear fellow? Well, that's interesting.
What is?
The cab. Turning at the empty house. Wonder why he followed her here.
Oh, wouldn't you?
About crossing with his glasses. Oh, we shall soon know. Yes, Mrs. Hudson?
It's a young lady, sir. Most urgent.
Ask her to come in.
Go right in, miss.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes, this is my friend, Dr. Watson.
How do you do?
How do you do? Mr. Holmes, you must excuse me, please.
Yes, well, won't you sit down?
Come along.
May I? It's quite all right. Now try to control yourself, Miss Fenwick. You're with friends.
You know my name?
No magic, I assure you. I've often seen your picture. You're the daughter of Sir George Fenwick, aren't you?
Yes. It's about my father that
What about your father, Miss Fenwick?
Oh, I don't know what to do. He's always been the nicest, dearest person. Only since Mother died.
Yes, Miss Madobe, we know.
So I didn't think anything of it when he was away all night before last. But he didn't come home until yesterday at tea time. Didn't come in for dinner at all. Just paced up and down in the library hour after hour. I begged him to let me in, but he wouldn't.
Steady, steady. Now take your time.
I couldn't sleep a wink last night. Then I started hearing things.
Hearing things? What sort of things?
I heard someone in the garden underneath my window. Then I saw a figure moving down the garden path. And I recognized my father. Stealing through his own garden like a thief. He had a spade in his hand. And he stopped by the greenhouse where he started to dig. This morning, at daybreak, I stole out into the garden and found this.
A finger. A human finger.
Bring up Scotland Yard, will you, Watson? Ask them to get hold of Inspector Gregson and tell him to meet us at once at George Fenwick's house, Kingston.
Operator, get me Scotland Yard quick.
Where's my father, Norris?
He's still in the library, miss.
Thank you. We'll see him right away. Will you come with me, please?
Thank you. I got your message, Mr. Holmes. Yes, indeed.
Dad, may I come in? Dad. Honey? He doesn't answer.
You mind?
Please do.
Thank you. Watson, quick.
Oh,
Come along, my
no,
dear.
no, no.
Take charge, Miss Fenwick, please. Now, miss, please. Please come along with me.
Dead?
Yes.
What do you make of it, Doctor?
Shot in the back, between the second and third ribs. The bullet undoubtedly had penetrated the heart. Look at the powder marks on his coat.
I'm a bit afraid of this.
What do you mean?
Don't you remember the man in the cab who followed Miss Fenwick to Baker Street?
Well, you don't think he had anything to do with it, do you?
I think it's reasonable to assume that he tipped off someone that I'd been sent for. George has obviously been murdered to keep him from telling me what he knew. What was the weapon used?
Small caliber revolver, point blank range, by the look of the wound.
The murderer came in through those French windows. The mud from the garden he brought in his boots. Sir George must have surprised the intruder. Passed the room to him here. What follows, we can't tell. But from the location of the wound, I'd say that he turned his back for a moment, and as he turned, The muzzle of the revolver was placed between his ribs and one muffled shot fired.
And you mean to say he kept on going, even after he was shot?
There's no doubt about it. Look there. The trail of blood leads us back to the desk. Something Sir George was after. Something.
I know. He was trying to summon help, Butcher.
I don't think so, Watson. There's the bell pull by the fireplace. No, you'll notice from the trail of blood that Sir George made straight for this desk here. I wonder, there was something he was desperately anxious to get. Hello? His right hand's clenched.
It's perfectly natural. Death agony.
The left hand lies open. Why only one hand clenched in the death agony? The right hand, the hand nearest the desk. Please note that. If Sir George took something off this desk, something so important that he spilled his last drop of blood to get it, I want to know what it is.
Nothing but an ordinary match folder.
Where does that lead us?
I imagine to something very important, Gregson. This match folder's from Pembroke House.
Why shouldn't it be? He was there, you know. We saw him yesterday.
Yes, but the effort he made after he was shot to get hold of this match folder. It's just possible he wanted someone to remember Pembroke House. He may have wished to recall it to someone who saw him there. Someone who, like ourselves, saw him with a woman.
And now, the egregious adventures of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Stutson. How they solve crimes is a mystery.
All right, let's see. Oh, a triple-double. That's perfect. Perfectly rolled, old boy. You're good at this game. Now let's see if I can duplicate that. Sherlock needs a new hat. Oh, not quite what I wanted, but that's 2 plus an over. That's not bad.
Sherlock! Sherlock, where are you at?
Down here, Stetson! Quickly! Down here, Stetson! Hurry! Hurry! Oh, that's plus 3, plus 4. Got you there.
You called me to come over here right away. I thought it was an emergency. And you're playing a game?
Well, isn't it obvious, Stetson, old boy?
What?
The game is afoot! Oh, man. And I'm winning! I'm beating your score from last week. You're so jealous. Oh, I hate jealousy, but I do like winning. Oh, Stetson!
But right now, ladies and gentlemen, before your very eyes, live on our stage, probably for the last time ever, we will be recreating that great skit. Ladies and gentlemen, grab onto your seats. It's Hoolihan on the bongos, it's Big Chuck as Guitar Zen, it's Lil John playing the part of Jane, and the son of Ghoul as the ape. Here is the 2012 version of Guitar Zen.
He's free as a breeze, he's always at ease. He lives in the jungle and hangs by his knees as he swings through the trees without a trapeze in his BBD. He's got a union card and he's practicing hard to play the guitar. Gonna be a big star, yeah, he's gonna go far and carry moonbeams home in a jar. He ordered Chet's guitar core, COD, makes A and E, and he's working on B, and dig C and W and R and B, and me and a chimpanzee agree that one day soon he'll be a celebrity. Get it, get it, get it, get it out! Guitar Zen! He's a guitar man! He's all you can stand! Give him a hand, Guitar Zen! He's got a girl named Jane with no last name, kinda homely and plain, but he loves her just the same, cause she kindles a flame and it drives him insane when he hears her sing. She really does her thing, it's her claim to fame. Come on, sing one, Jane. He likes to get drunky and sing boogie woogie, and it sounds real funky. Come on, your time, boy. Sing one, monkey. Here we go. Let's hear it for the monkey. Woo! On Saturday night, they need some excitement. Jane gets right and the monkey gets tight, and their voices unite in the pale moonlight, and it sounds all right. Yeah, it's dynamite. It's out of sight. Let's hear it right now.
One more time for Big Chuck, Hoolihan, Little John, and the Son of Ghoul, and Guitars in 2012.
You knock it off. Don't you look at me that way. Don't you roll your knots at me. Hey, I'm not putting up with that kind of behavior. No, you are getting on my last final nerve.
Rich!
Huh?
What the heck are you doing?
Man, my wife wants me to redo the basement in that naughty pine, so I got a bunch of samples. This one is so bad. Don't look at me that way. I will put you in a corner. I will find a spot in the corner for you and put you there. Don't you? You're gonna be.
Hey, well, how about that?
Some more Sherlock groans?
Boy, I groaned.
Those are a couple of groans in there.
I groaned.
So.
Did you groan?
It was more groans than a Tracy Lords film.
If you like the Sherlock groans and you want to see more Sherlock groans, tell us how they can let us know.
By calling that number you're about to tell them. 440.
What number?
744-9105.
I don't know it. I don't need to call it.
I just texted you. 440-944-7105.
I was off by a digit.
Let us know what you think about Sherlock groans.
Or you can mail something to P.O. Box 81593, Cleveland, Ohio, 44181.
Hey, you want to call Richard Ganella?
Huh?
I got his number.
God bless you.
Call Richard Ganella. Ask him about that store he used to run.
Here.
That pet store.
He wants to see more Tina.
I bet.
He watches.
I don't want to see more of Tina.
He watches our marathons. He's from Warren, Ohio. He watches us on Spectrum. He was the one that said, I watched it for 2 straight weeks and then nothing. But he knows what's going on.
What's his name?
Richard
Ganella. Richard. Okay, and I created that whole joke just for you. What do you think about that joke about the pet store you used to own? And you sold that Ganella gorilla for sale.
Oh, I remember that dud.
That wasn't a dud.
That was a dud.
If you think that's a dud, we got even more Sherlock groans and the adventures of the egregious. You know what egregious means?
It means...
lack of money.
I just learned this last week.
Egregious?
Egregious.
Crazy.
Lack of class?
Close. Do you know?
No.
He doesn't even know anything. And he's a...
That's
true.
I just learned this last week.
Okay.
It's crazy. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's stupid.
You agree with it.
Yeah, stupid. So the egregious adventures of Sherlock Groans and Dr. Stetson. And we have more coming. There's more coming down the pike. So
there we go.
Speaking of coming down the pike, you know what time it is?
What time is it?
Time for Tracy Lords.
Oh, sorry, we were almost
We're
done.
back.
Sorry about that.
You got about 3 or 4 or 5 books just because of him tonight.
This is one of those drinks.
But he is kind of like on fire. See the camera?
Well, you know, yeah, exactly. There's been a lot
Get a zoom in of his face. I'll tell you everything you need to know.
He's a little heated. No, you won't. Just listen to him talking. You don't need to zoom in on his face.
It looks like his
What are you talking about?
Your face looks like what's in that glass.
What are you talking about?
All right, what are you saying? Say some English.
Face-off. Who
We've
was,
shot 3 weeks
your
of
opinion,
shows
who did you
in
like?
one evening.
One evening.
One evening.
One evening.
It's 3 weeks.
That's what Dee said.
What did the woman in green wear to a ball? An evening gown. I can't help. I can't keep it together here anymore.
You can't, not tonight.
I should.
Yeah.
Who was the better detective? Sherlock Holmes or Columbo? Only one could win this face-off.
Yeah?
Vern.
Sherlock Holmes.
Puppet.
Puppet.
And we're not talking Johnny.
Okay, move on. Sherlock Holmes.
What?
Johnny Holmes. He's stuck on something else.
He had a 13.
All right. Hey, you better not use this with that puppet then.
You're giving me
And now
the
what could
finger
happen?
tonight.
Look.
Right. Dick Tracy.
After him?
After
always
Dick
gotta be
Tracy, I'm going to go Sherlock.
They're detectives.
You want to hold this finger?
I'm going to go Columbo.
Here, you want it?
And I'm going Columbo because...
From tonight's movie.
Oh, you know what? Before you even say a word, I'm going to go back to Columbo.
Are you?
Yes.
You going? You
No,
changed.
I'm going to go back
Changed.
to Columbo.
You changed.
I'm changing.
Okay, you can do that. before
Columbo.
Okay. All right. I'm going Columbo because I just like the
Put that
way
in my mouth.
it's sometimes he knew he had it pegged, and he dragged them along a little bit more, thinking, playing stupid, and then he'd always give him that zinger. You know what? He'd give him that one more thing, just to give them that person like an oh crap moment, like he knew it, making them think, because you know that was going to make it even more obvious that they were the perpetrator, and he can nab them. So I go Columbo, even though Sherlock Holmes is really good. Why you pick
know
Sherlock
who
Holmes?
Columbo's wife was?
He's having his own show.
Mrs. Columbo.
Why'd you say
Yeah,
Sherlock
but still.
Holmes?
Janet Janeway.
Are we talking about the
Janeway.
Why'd you say Sherlock Holmes?
I said Sherlock Holmes because Columbo was a terrible detective, because every episode they had to give him stuff. You know, they had to give him these big openings so that he could identify the criminal. Sherlock Holmes, he would just deduce things out of little pieces of stuff like that. They didn't have to give him, you know, oh, I like juice. Oh, this juice is warm. Oh, why would he drink that juice? See that episode? No. Or he tested juice or something. Why would he, at a crime scene, decide he needed a glass of juice and then, oh, this juice is warm or whatever? It's like they got to give him stuff. But Sherlock Holmes got nothing. Sherlock Holmes is, must have been by a left-headed man on a rainy day, because the weight was on his left side with an umbrella or some crap like that.
Left-headed man.
And he only had one ball.
Why'd you change to Columbo?
Because, you know, he did it all on his own a little bit. I mean, you didn't have Watson with him.
That's true. Good point. Didn't have a sidekick.
One against two.
Didn't have a sidekick to help him.
Didn't have a sidekick.
That's not true. He had that dog.
That's a dog.
Yeah, the dog helped him
That was
a lot.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, the dog had
Right,
it.
right.
Why'd you pick Sherlock Holmes?
Because I always like how observant he is. And like in every show that he's been in, he's so observant. Like, you know, like what this guy was saying.
Very observant.
Rocco.
Columbo, because he always dealt with the culprit throughout the entire story. So there was no left-hand turn or red herring.
He knew he had his target. He was dead on the target, and he just dragged him along, played with them a little bit, had his fun.
And also the way the stories were structured. We know who the culprit. We had to figure out how did he figure it out.
Just like House. How did House figure it out? That was he's like a detective too.
House.
The makeup
They know
guy.
who House is.
The makeup artist.
Yeah, he did a lot of make
House, the show, Dr. House.
Nobody watched that.
What?
Nobody watched that show.
Are you crazy?
What about Monk?
Monk's the man. Monk's the man.
Don't touch it.
Columbo or Monk?
Monk.
Monk.
I didn't watch Monk much.
I didn't watch Monk much either. Monk
Old Columbo
I was
or new
lacking
Columbo?
Oh, that's a good one.
Who?
I was listening.
Old Columbo, the original Columbo, or the new Columbo?
Columbo.
What'd you do to me, Denny?
Columbo.
When he came back.
Buddy Epstein.
That was Barnaby Jones.
Barnaby Jones.
He was the detective, but he was more of a. He didn't figure stuff out. Matlock. Hey, Matlock's coming back. With the girl this time.
I don't know. Whatever.
There were a bunch of different dicks. It's just which one you like.
Rockford Files detective, though. He wasn't very. He didn't figure nothing
Sherlock
out.
Holmes or Columbo.
Jake in the second.
Or House. I like House.
Let me ask you this question. Okay, back when Columbo was on, the original Columbo. Okay.
Columbo.
They had a series. So you had a gun. You had Columbo. You had McLeod. You had McMillan and wife. And then you had Jigsaw John, I believe it was.
McLeod of the Clan
On a
McLeod.
recurring thing. Which was the one you'd rather see? Which
Never
week
watched
was on there?
any of those shows except a few Columbo episodes.
You never watched any of those, but a few Columbo episodes. But Columbo's your favorite.
Because I hardly watched any Sherlock either. I know each character.
So you're basing it on practically nothing.
I've seen enough of both of them to know what
You've seen
they
it.
do.
You've seen enough to make your whole assessment on a couple episodes. Huh? It was the Sunday night mystery movie. Did I like?
What the hell was that?
Probably Columbo.
Columbo or Kolchak?
The Night Stalker?
Fox Mulder or Kolchak?
Columbo or Kojak?
Kojak.
You know, the bald-headed guy like
We
you.
better get back to this movie.
Oh, the guy with Sucker.
Yeah, who loves you, baby?
Because they were losing, losing daylight. We might have to bring the monster out into the sun.
Come in.
Oh, Dr. Watson, this came by hand for Mr. Holmes not 10 minutes ago.
Thank you, Mrs. Elson.
That would be the report from Mr. George's bank.
Report from Mr. George. Oh, really?
Don't you remember his daughter told us that he just closed his account? Had it looked into at once. He drew out his entire balance in cash, nearly £10,000, yesterday, just after that young woman was murdered. What does that suggest you, Watson?
Have you paid it out to someone?
Precisely. I smell the faint, sweet odor of blackmail.
You don't think he paid it out to someone who saw him murder the McLean woman?
Sir George never murdered anyone.
But he did have that woman's finger, and he empty did have and pay out a lot of cash.
That's the terrifying part about blackmail, Watson. The victim is afraid to fight the accusation no matter how false. Once the accusation is made, his name is smeared, and sometimes his life is ruined.
Well, Sir George didn't commit these murders. What fiend did?
I rather think they're not the work of any one man.
Oh, come, Holmes. You don't expect me to believe there's a whole organization going about killing people and chopping off their fingers.
That's possible, quite possible.
Well, whoever's behind all this thing must be out of his mind.
On the contrary, my dear fellow, if my assumptions are correct, this little scheme has behind it the most brilliant and ruthless intellect the world has ever known.
You don't mean Professor Moriarty?
I do.
Oh, steady, Holmes. You've got him on the brain. This is the third time in as many months he was suspected of unsolved crimes. He's dead, you know.
Is he?
Is he? No, he is. He was hanged in Montevideo, well, over a year ago.
I know that someone was hanged in Montevideo under that name. But I'll stake my reputation that Moriarty is alive and here, now in London. Hello? Yes, Dr. Watson, wait a minute.
Me? Oh, yes? This is Dr. Watson speaking. No, I'm afraid I've retired. I don't practice anymore. What? Oh, that's a different thing. An emergency case? Well, just a minute. Yes? Yes, well, see if she's not moved. Remember that? Don't touch her till I get there. Fractured case in McCardle's Mews. Heavy woman. 14 stone. Whew. 14 stone. Whew. Just the sort of person who would hoist herself up on a stool to feed the canary. There ought to be a law against fat people. Keep it, little dicky birds. Well, so long, old man. I shan't be very long. I haven't used that bag since I brought little Amelia, what's her name in the world? Grew up to be a very attractive child. Oh, who wouldn't with a name like Amelia? Oh, Amelia. Amelia. People so stupid about that.
Professor Moriarty. Not that I wish to appear inquisitive, but to what am I indebted for the pleasure of this visit? Scotland Yard will be interested.
It's very convenient for me to have Scotland Yard think that I'm still dead in Montevideo. I never dreamed of fooling you.
Thank you.
The thought occurs to me, Mr. Holmes, that there are some advantages in living within the law. You're very comfortably fixed here, aren't you? As I get on in life, the little comforts appeal to me more and more.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
And now, Professor Moriarty, what can I do for you?
Everything that I have to say to you has already crossed your mind.
And my answer has no doubt crossed yours.
Yes, final?
What do you think? I shall not rest until you are hanged for the finger murders.
You've no proof, you know.
No, not a shred. But I have you. I could turn you over to the police here and now.
You could? If you did, you'd never see Dr. Watson again.
Oh, the telephone call.
Quite.
I rather assumed you had taken some such precaution. Or I should have snatched up a revolver and indulged in a fit of heroics when you came in.
Very smart, aren't you?
Not smart enough. Or I should have anticipated you. But if any harm comes to Dr. Watson, I shall seek you out. I shall not rest until I find you, and when I do...
No harm will come to Dr. Watson this time. But I can't answer for the future. Mr. Holmes, I should strongly advise you to drop this case.
Don't be silly.
Think it over. We've had many encounters in the past. You hope to place me on the gallows. I tell you I shall never stand up on the gallows. But if you are instrumental in any way in bringing about my destruction, you will not be alive to enjoy your satisfaction.
We shall walk together through the gates of eternity, hand in hand.
What a charming picture that would make.
Yes, wouldn't it? No, I really think it might be worth it.
Shoelaces, Governor? Tuppence a pair. And strong enough to hang yourself.
How many more times since I tell you I don't want your filthy shoelaces or your company?
Shoelaces, Governor?
Last impertinence. Run along, my good man, or I'll give you in charge.
Shoelaces, Governor? Shoelaces, Governor? Help a poor bloke. What's only got one arm? Any luck with Mr. Holmes?
You can read his obituary in tomorrow's papers. Oh, there you are, Watson. Come in. I was, just going out to look for you.
Look for me what for? Suppose you don't think I know my way about. Well, you're right, I don't. Blast all practical jokers anyhow. Know where I've been?
On a wild goose chase.
Exactly. There's no such number in McCardle's Muse. Some fool's idea of a joke.
Did you see anyone?
No, nobody especially. Only a whining old idiot selling bootlaces.
Assistant baker, wasn't he? Stuck to you like grim death.
Huh? How do you know?
And finally left you for someone who looked like better pickings. Someone, my dear Watson, was Professor Moriarty himself.
What?
Just called on me.
Moriarty here and you let him go? But you must be out of your mind. Why?
Well, he bluffed me into believing that he was holding a friend of mine as hostage.
Friend of yours who?
Oh, nobody very important, just a fat, lazy fellow. Medical man, I believe.
Medical man? Do I know him?
Yes, I think you do. A fellow by the name of Watson.
Watson, never heard. Who, me?
I'm afraid so, old fellow. Your street hawker's job was to do away with you in a certain contingency.
And you let Moriarty go? Because of me?
I had no choice. You can't afford to lose you, old fellow.
Well, it's very decent of the old chap, I must say, but... I wish you'd nabbed him.
We shall, never fear. I know the motive for the finger murders. All I have to find out now is the method used with the blackmail victims.
Method?
Yes. How does Moriarty get them to the scene of the crime? How does he plant those severed fingers on them? And how does he scare them into believing that they may have committed those atrocious murders themselves? Curious. Very curious.
Huh? Curious? What's curious?
That window in the empty house across the street. First floor front.
Oh? What's wrong with it?
It's open.
Well, shouldn't it be open?
Well, it wasn't open half an hour ago. I'll stake my life on that.
Well, it's not our business. Let it stay open.
I wonder if you'd go over, old fellow, and see what's the matter.
Trespassing. Against the law.
Very well, I'll go myself.
Oh, well, if you're going to put it like that, ridiculous waste of time. Think about shutting windows at this hour of the night.
Yeah, you'd better take this torch.
Oh, take what? Dignified job for a doctor. Dr. Watson, the torchbearer. And what do you propose to do? Sit in a comfortable chair, I suppose, and read a good book.
That's a very good idea.
Yes, very good idea. While I play night watchman, you have a nice read.
Mm-hmm. Good night. Have a good time.
Good time. What do you mean, have a good... Oh, umbrella stand. Pretty little thing to keep about the house. Must have been a pet. He sits comfortably reading a book. shoot you a second ago.
Not me, my dear fellow. Merely the bust of Julius Caesar. Incidentally, you may have noticed that all through the ages, prominent men have prominent noses. Oh, I'm afraid we're in for terrible trouble again with Mrs. Hudson. Windows smashed, plaster all over the floor. Get up, you.
Corporal Williams, Middlesex Regiment. Discharged from the Army as physically unfit. Huh. Papers seem in order.
Now, Corporal Williams, you've seen service in the Far East, haven't you? The East? I thought so. Look at his complexion, Watson. Yellow as saffron. He's been taking atabrine. Cure for malaria. Sniper, aren't you?
Sniper.
Why did you try to kill me?
I had to kill him. I had to. Oh, snap out of it.
Stop it, Watson.
He's shamming.
No, he isn't. Who told you to kill me?
She told me.
She told you?
She told me I couldn't miss. Well, luckily you did miss, you murderer.
Isn't a murderer, Watson. Listen, Corporal Williams. She told you you had to do it, didn't she?
I had to do it.
I've got it, Watson, I've got it.
Got what?
The method used in the finger murders.
Well, what is it?
Hypnotism, my dear fellow. Hypnotism. And it wasn't against his nature. That's the devilish part of it. They picked a man for their purpose whose job was sniping. Who are they? Professor Moriarty and his finger murderers. Williams spoke of a woman. I think you'll find that she asked him home tonight for a drink. Nice quiet rooms, soft lights, music.
You've got it all pat, Mr. Holmes. What's the lady look like?
Up 30, nice figure, blonde, lustrous eyes.
Really? Got a phone number?
Williams will give us her address. Look after him, Gregson. Don't let anyone come near him. He's our key witness in the finger murders.
Well, I hope you're guessing right, Mr. Holmes.
Get up, Williams. Now, go with Inspector Gregson anywhere he tells you.
Come on.
Now, ring me as soon as he comes to himself, will you?
I will. Good night, gentlemen.
Good night.
Well, if you believe that fellow Williams was hypnotized, I suppose you think Sir George Fenwick was hypnotized too.
I'm quite sure of it. Have a cup of tea?
Thanks, old boy. Nothing to eat. Well, why didn't these people make Sir George do the murder himself?
Because they didn't want to get him hanged. They wanted to blackmail him.
Well, who do you think the actual murderer is?
One of Moriarty's gang. A diabolically simple technique. Kill a woman.
Yes. But why cut off the fingers?
My dear fellow, don't you understand? The severed finger is what links the blackmail victim to the murder. He wakes, finds the grisly thing in his pocket. Doesn't know how it got there. He's no idea that he's been hypnotized. For all he knows, he may have committed the atrocious crime during some dreadful lapse of sanity.
In that state, when he's utterly demoralized, the blackmailers take over. Is that it?
Undoubtedly. You see, they swear that they saw him commit the murder. And being human, the victim will pay anything rather than stand trial on a charge that will make his very name loathsome.
Well, it all fits in if you believe in hypnotism.
The only possible explanation.
You think the hypnotist is that woman with the blonde hair, the lustrous eyes, the woman you invented?
I didn't invent her. I saw her.
What are you talking about?
That woman, my dear Watson, was with Sir George when he left Pembroke House. I saw her there. I shall see her again, and Williams will lead me to her. That's why it's so important to keep him safe. He will identify her. Well, yes? Inspector Gregson? What? I'll get every constable in the district. Yes, I'll be over at once.
What's happened, Holmes?
Williams is missing.
Great Scott!
Come on. Lorry crashed into Gregson's car. During the confusion, Williams disappeared.
Escaped, eh?
No, kidnapped. keep him from talking when he came to.
You don't think that Moriarty...
Moriarty? Anything is possible.
Williams!
Dead. You see? Anything is possible.
And now, the egregious adventures of Sherlock Groans and Dr. Stutson. How they solve crimes is a mystery.
Well, Stetson, as you know, we've been tasked with finding the king's son, who has been kidnapped by the evil Moriarty. Now, we've looked everywhere that's reasonable, so now we must do the unreasonable. I have deduced that I believe the king's son is somewhere in this area, but he's covered with Moriarty's evil, invisible dust, which renders anything transparent. You can't see it. Stetson, what are you doing?
Well, I'm dusting for prints!
Oh, man.
All right, everyone. We're going to do a memory test to see who is paying attention. All right, let's start over here. What is 3 times 3?
13.
Okay, okay. How about you? What is 3 times 3?
18.
Yes. Good answer.
Interesting. Okay. How about you? What is 3 times 3?
Thursday.
Oh. Good answer.
Okay. How about you? What is 3 times 3?
9.
Oh, funny. How did you come up with that?
Oh, that was easy. I took 13, multiplied it by 18, and divided it by Thursday. 9.
Hey, Uncle G, where's Granny G been? It's been a long time since we've seen her.
I don't know.
Uncle G.
I'm down here.
What are you doing under the table?
I dropped a caramel down here.
Candy caramel?
Caramel, yeah.
What? Don't worry. It's not like, don't worry about it.
No, I gotta find this one.
Why?
Because it's got my teeth in it. Down here a little while ago. Couldn't have rolled far.
That's from,
what the hell? What
that's
the hell
from
is
tonight's
that?
movie. That was one of the things from tonight's movie.
The finger?
Moriarty, he was going around, he was chopping off ladies' fingers.
Oh boy.
Here.
You giving Denny the finger?
Yeah, I gave Denny the finger. He gave it to me enough.
It's about the size of my pinky.
I messed up. Are we up?
Yes, you're up.
Hey, he messed up. Whoa, whoa,
Wait, whoa.
Get all
Whoa,
the
whoa,
cameras
whoa.
in here. Bring all the cameras in here.
Oh.
You got a confession.
Oh,
you messed up.
What happened?
Bring the cameras close.
Everyone's all excited.
G-spot, we have a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, zoom in
We
on
have a
this.
problem on the G-spot.
Don't worry, guys. It's
Quiet
not
on
that
the set,
big of
quiet
I
on
didn't
the
mess
set.
up that big. Okay.
Where's my
I
sign?
don't know. You don't look too happy.
No.
It's in the studio.
Bring get it.
There's no trivia tonight. Because my tidbit about the inspiration was my trivia. I went to my notes. I go, oh, that's all I had. That was my trivia. So
Really?
unless you guys can think of something, come up with a trivia.
Ah, my head's stuck in that. Oh,
Terry, come up with a trivia.
I don't even know what the hell movie we're showing.
Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock
That's
Holmes.
the spirit.
Well, did
Vern,
you
come
know?
up with a
Oh,
trivia.
that's not a trivia. I can't say it's a tidbit.
No. Anything. Come up with no. It's a Sherlock Holmes movie.
Oh.
Who tried to kill off Sherlock Holmes?
In what movie or what are you talking about?
No, just who wanted to kill
Moriarty. All the time. As a matter of fact, he thought Moriarty was dead in tonight's movie. He's always thinking Moriarty's dead, but Moriarty's
answer?
never dead.
Moriarty?
Moriarty. Explain it.
Moriarty.
Well, I just gave it. I could tell you tidbit.
Are we still up?
Oh.
Okay, what's the tidbit?
Well, a lot of people compared these Sherlock Holmes movies, of which there was 14 of them, to the book. And in the book,
Dr. Watson wasn't quite the kind of moron or naive guy that he is in the films. He was more of a studied man and more of a man of action, whereas in the films, Nigel Bruce played him as kind of a dummy. You know, he let Sherlock Holmes kind of be the spotlight, and he was just like the fodder on the side. But Basil Rathbone said that he enjoyed Nigel Bruce's interpretation of Sherlock Holmes, of Dr. Watson, because it allowed the character to enhance the story.
So
instead of like taking over the story.
So you're saying like in the books, was it more like Robert Downey Jr.'s, the guy who played his Watson? I can't remember the name.
Wasn't it
Judd? Was
John
it Judd
Law or something?
Judd Law?
Judd Law.
All right.
Yeah, he was more of a man of action, you know, not quite so. And actually, did you know that in the films, Dr. Watson is older than Sherlock Holmes, but in real life, Nigel Bruce is actually 2 years younger than Basil Rathbone. 2 years younger. So, how you like them apples?
Good tidbits.
And out of the 14 available Sherlock Holmes, 4 of them are available for us to show.
When?
My phone.
Well, no, wait a minute. Oh, this is, I gotta see how to. Okay,
this should be good.
No,
this should be really good.
It could be a good.
Put my earplug in.
Is this the trivia segment?
Yes.
Okay, you know what time it is?
You got a trivia?
No, you do.
Okay, I do.
Apparently, yeah. What time is it? Okay. All right. Big Dentiste
All right,
trivia.
here, let's see.
I got my earplug.
Does he save the day? Does he save the day?
No.
Oh, jeez.
No.
No.
The movie was in black and white.
What's that supposed to
How
mean?
did they know that she was wearing a green dress?
He said it in the title. What a
Yeah, the movie was black and white. How did they know that she was wearing a green dress?
Too much credit.
Good one. Good one.
Because they didn't.
All right, let's get back into it.
When we get back, you can take your guesses.
Finish off Sherlock Holmes, and we'll come
See
back.
my feet at home?
No.
Oh boy.
Oh, geez. Oh, my God.
Get the book.
My daughter says these feet
You're
are
going to have fungus eye now.
Oh, good morning, Professor Moriarty. You startled me. I'm dressing another dolly, a dear little nurse. Is there anything wrong with your finger?
Just a splinter.
Nasty thing, splinters. Most trying. One can't be too careful, but I'll get it out for you. I have the very instrument to help you. Sharp enough to split a hair.
Put those tools away until they're needed.
But they're not tools, sir. They're instruments.
Put them away. Is Lydia in?
Yes. But really, you should let me.
Get dressed. Holmes and Watson just left Baker Street for the Mesmer Club.
Mesmer Club, the meeting place of all the top hypnotists in London. Do you suppose that Mr. Holmes is onto our method?
If he suspects, it's merely a suspicion. It's our business to see that it ends there.
I hope you're right.
Williams passed away before he could talk, remember?
What do you want me to do?
Go to the Mesmer Club, meet Holmes, and induce him to come back here.
Isn't that a bit dangerous?
Every meeting with Sherlock Holmes is potentially dangerous. However, you say he didn't see your face at Pembroke House.
And how would you suggest I get Mr. Holmes to accompany me here? Kidnap him?
Oh, no. Holmes has one weakness, his insatiable curiosity. If you can arouse that, you can lead him anywhere. It's up to you to take advantage of any opportunity that may arise.
This way, please, gentlemen.
I'll tell Dr. Onslow that you're here.
Thank you.
And this is the Mesmer Club. If you ask me, hypnotism is a lot of mumbo-jumbo.
Oh, come now, Watson. As a medical man, you must admit that hypnotism has its place in modern science.
That may be, but 90% of hypnotists are crooks of the worst kind. Nothing more than a lot of charlatans exploiting weak-willed morons.
Ah, Dr. Onslow, I believe.
Happy to meet you, Mr. Holmes. Your brother Mycroft suggested I might be of help to you. He's a valued member of our little group of charlatans and crooks.
Beg your pardon, sir. I didn't know you were listening. Behind the curtain.
My friend, Dr. Watson.
Oh, delighted. I wonder now. You see, we're in the midst of a little experimental session at this very moment. If you'd care to join us.
Certainly.
That'd be very instructive.
Oh, well, will you follow me?
Thank you.
In treating his patients. But today, the therapeutic value of hypnotism, as we now call it, is conceded by innumerable physicians. Especially is of value in surgical cases where the administration of local or of general anesthetic is inadvisable.
Inadvisable poppycock.
For the sake of latecomers, I may say that I have placed this subject under profound hypnosis. In this condition, he can feel no pain, even under applications which normally would be excruciating.
Excruciating?
You excuse me, please.
Carter, you are having a peaceful sleep. You feel nothing. Your arms and your hands are without sensation. Mowbray, the long needle. Carter, give me your right hand. As you observe, the needle has been thrust completely through the subject's hand. No feeling, no pain. This lack of feeling is the one infallible test of profound hypnosis.
Nonsense. Fellow's full of drugs. Well, isn't he?
Definitely not, Doctor.
Wake up, Carter, wake up. You feel well and rested, remember. No pain anywhere. Wake up, wake up.
I say, when are you going to begin?
All through, Carter. Stand up.
This way, sir.
And, are these all the people that come here?
Oh, no. Others keep dropping in all the time.
I suppose it's all right for those who believe in it, but of course, I'm a professional man myself.
Then you don't believe in hypnotism, Dr. Watson?
I don't deny that there are certain types of hysterical, feeble-minded people who go under if you point your finger at them. But anyone with an ounce of character...
How right you are. You see right through our little artifices, don't you, Doctor?
Right through, my dear sir. Right through.
Right so. But with the feeble-minded, as you say... excuse us, Mr. Holmes.
Certainly.
Step over here, won't you?
Certainly, sir. Anything to oblige.
Let me show you how easily we charlatans take advantage of them. Now, sit down, Doctor. Now, we set a thing like this in motion. It's wonderful, the attraction on the feeble-minded, of course. The continuous motion, if they just let themselves follow it. Of course, you could stare at it till doomsday, Dr. Watson, with no effect at all. Still, it might make you a little drowsy, like the white ribbon of road at night when you're driving. The rhythm is smooth, unbroken, and the road goes on and on, round and round, always the same, winding and winding. And you're drowsy, you're tired. Let the road come into you, as it were. The long road, the smooth road, the road to sleep. Sleep. Open your eyes. Stand up. Turn around. And now, Dr. Watson, you're on a holiday in Scotland. The country is amazingly beautiful. We're coming to a stream. It isn't deep. Better take your shoes and socks off. Roll up your trouser. That will do. The other leg is waterproof. Turn around. Mind the pebbles. Sit down. Wake up now.
I see. What did I tell you? It didn't work with me. Why, nobody with an ounce of character.
I think you'll need these.
Nothing to laugh at.
Watson, she's here.
Oh, the woman you're looking for?
Yes, I'm going to meet her. Perhaps I can induce her to take me to Moriarty.
Do you think it's wise, Holmes?
May not be wise, but it's essential. After all, I've held me on with Moriarty in the past.
But isn't it dangerous? She might be a hypnotist.
My will isn't stronger than hers. I deserve to be hypnotized.
I feel I must protest, Dr. Onslow. I was told this was a gathering of serious students of a great science, and I find myself in a company of buffoons.
Oh, my dear madam.
Eliot and Esdale brave. Were those men martyrs for the truth? That you may laugh over your childish, cruel tricks?
I must say I'm in complete agreement with you, madam. This was a most unnecessary performance, Dr. Onslow.
Beg your pardon, sir.
My name is Holmes, Sherlock Holmes. At your service, madam.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes. I'm afraid I've created a rather embarrassing situation. But you see, I'm interested in the serious study of hypnotism.
So am I, too.
Perhaps we have something in common, Mr. Holmes.
Perhaps we have. Would you join me for a cocktail at Pembroke House?
I should be delighted.
Good.
And now, the egregious adventures of Sherlock Groans and Dr. Stutson. How they solve crimes is a mystery.
Stutson, what's up? Well, have you finished going through the crime scene? Yes. I went through the crime scene. Go arrest the maid's boyfriend. He's the murderer. Go tell the police. Just go, my friend. Go. But aren't you going to regale me with your conclusions and deductions on why it's the maid's boyfriend? You know, I'm just not feeling today, my friend. But I tell you what I did do. I took all my conclusions and my deductions and my scientific knowledge. I wrote it on a tiny piece of paper which I inserted inside this peanut. So, my friend, here it is in a nutshell.
Oh, man.
Hey, I worked hard on that!
I've tried piano before a long time ago. I play drums now, but I've always wanted to kind of get back into piano. You think maybe you can
really
kind of like refresh my memory and get me going on piano again?
Why don't you
always
sit there?
wanted that.
Try it out.
Yeah, you sounded excellent.
Oh, thank you. Have a seat.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's start off with this.
Okay.
Why don't you give me an A flat?
A flat. A little too flat.
Yeah. How about a B minor?
E minor. Not hitting it. Not hitting it.
Let's try C. Key is C. Ooh. Why don't we? How about this? How about chopsticks?
See, everyone plays chopsticks. I want to learn chopsticks. Yeah, how does that go?
Here you go. chopstick.
Thank you.
I didn't know there was such a pleasant place in London. It was so nice of you to suggest our coming here.
I thought a little pick-me-up would do us good.
You mean you thought I looked...
I like the way you look.
Thank you. I suppose I did lose my head a little at the Mesmer Club. But you see, hypnotism is almost a religion with me. I know so well what it can do to help, heal. And I can't bear to see it used for trivial purposes.
I know very little about it. That's why I went to the Mesmer Club. You see, I'm rather puzzled just now with the case that I'm working on.
How fascinating. Tell me about it.
The murder of Sir George Fenwick.
Fenwick? Who's he?
Quite a well-known figure. Odd now I come to think of it. Last time I saw Sir George was here at Pembroke House.
Strange.
Yes, isn't it? He was sitting, I believe he was sitting at this very table. Cigarette?
Thanks. Do go on.
There was a charming lady with him. He was lighting a cigarette.
Charming. Did you see her face?
No, worse not. Merely her back.
How unsurprising of you.
Yes, wasn't it? But I'm getting a little older.
I shouldn't say so.
That's nice of you. Still, the first time in my life, I've got hold of a case that's beyond me. I'm actually losing sleep over it.
You know, Mr. Holmes, I believe I could help you.
Really? I should be very grateful.
You're amused.
Yeah. Merely skeptical. How would you go about it?
I've used hypnotism more than once in healing. Not for profit. I'm not a professional. But I do think I could help you. If you care to...
I can't think of a pleasanter experience.
Low light, music, is that all there is to it?
You must relax, Mr. Holmes. I'm afraid you're a rather difficult subject. So I thought perhaps a little help. Materia medica might be advisable.
Drugs? No, I'd rather not, if you don't mind.
As a matter of fact, I'd rather not myself. But Schrenknoffen, he practiced in Munich, you know. Believed it the best means for difficult subjects. Do you mind?
Well, as a matter of fact, I don't approve of sedatives.
Just as you wish. We don't have to go on with this at all, you know.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. All right. I'll take a chance.
It's really quite harmless.
What is it?
Cannabis japonica, an oriental soporific. You'll need water.
Thank you.
Now sit down, Mr. Holmes. You'll feel yourself growing drowsy. Don't fight it. Give in to it. Because you do want to sleep, you know. Just fix your eyes on this one white flower, floating on the water. Empty your mind of every other thought. Follow the motion of the water. So smooth. Not a ripple. Waters of forgetfulness. Steady. Deep. Strong. Strange, isn't it? How the light is reflected. Little specks of light that move and move. It's restful here. It's peace. And you're very close to finding what you're looking for. You'll find them soon now. The guilty ones. When you're rested, gentle waters closing over you. Steady, deep, strong, drawing you down, down, down. Sleep. 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 Here he is, Professor Moriarty. Stand up, Mr. Holmes. Open your eyes. Face this way. Are you satisfied?
We are dealing with a clever man. He may be shamming. There's just one infallible test for profound hypnosis. You ready, Dr. Simnel? That will do, Doctor. He couldn't fake insensibility to the knife. I congratulate you, Lydia. Turn round, Mr. Holmes. Now walk to the desk. Sit down. Take that pen and write what I tell you to write. I have at last found a case which I cannot solve. I have outlived my usefulness. Therefore, I have decided to end my life. Sign your name. Now blot it. Fold it up. And put it in your pocket. Come, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Go out onto the terrace.
But it won't look like suicide, sir.
I'm sorry, but Mr. Holmes' injuries must all be self-inflicted. Let's walk a little, Mr. Holmes. It's so pleasant here in the garden. Just step up here onto the terrace. It's a nice, broad terrace. Now turn to the left and walk slowly to the end of the terrace. Don't stop. You must walk to the end, you know. The end leads to an open doorway. You can pass through it in perfect safety. In the room beyond the doorway, you'll find what you've been looking for.
Must you drag this on?
This is the moment I've been anticipating for a long time, my dear. Go on, Mr. Holmes. Through the open doorway, you will find the man responsible for the finger murders and the death of Sir George Fenning. Professor Moriarty.
Holmes! Stand still.
What a beautiful view, Watson. I'm quite enjoying it.
No, you're not. You're hypnotized. You're under a spell. Stand still. Don't move. Steady, Holmes. Steady, does it? Stand perfectly still where you are.
Nonsense, Watson.
You don't know what you're doing.
Of course I know what I'm doing.
You mean you're not hypnotized?
Certainly not.
Then get off the wall, you idiot. Oh, look out! What were you doing out there?
Holding the fort until you arrived. What kept you?
Oh, I ran into a spot of trouble on my way to Scotland Yard. I was arrested for exceeding the speed limit.
Your luck seems to hold, Mr. Holmes. I'd hardly call it luck, Professor. You see, I substituted a drug of my own for the one that this dear lady pressed on me.
You are clever, aren't you?
A drug that, although it leaves the subject conscious, renders him quite insensitive to pain. That accounted for my lack of reaction to Dr. Simnel's knife. Well, Gregson, quite an impressive haul. Even Inspector Lestrade himself couldn't have done any better.
Thanks, Mr. Holmes.
Take him away.
All right, put her in the van.
I was right, Mr. Holmes. You are a difficult subject.
Thank you. And now, Professor, our score is settled. Au revoir until I see you on the gallows. The rope has not been made that'll go around my neck. Come on.
I'll take care of things, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Inspector.
Come on.
An evil man, Holmes, but what a horrible death.
Better than he deserved.
What are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of all the women who can come and go in safety in the streets of London tonight. The stars keep watching their heavens. And in our own little way, we too, old friend, are privileged to watch over our city.
The movie's over?
That was over?
Does that mean we're back?
We're back.
Oh, now we're back.
Just the movie's over?
The movie's over.
The movie over and we back.
Is that all there is? You scared
The movie's
Denny.
over and we're back.
We're back now.
That all there is?
We're back to hear your answer to the trivia.
And then let's
And his too.
No.
Sing.
He's not giving it to us.
Bring out the booze.
You want mine first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Trying to kill
Have a bowl.
Sherlock Holmes.
I thought
You said Moriarty.
I thought you said Moriarty.
No.
Mrs. Holmes when he was caught
That's not the
cheating.
answer.
Conan Doyle.
Conan Doyle wanted to kill the character off, but he was too popular, so he had to write him back in.
That bastard.
Just like they said, I want it out and you reeled me back in.
He didn't like his character.
More like you wrote me.
He didn't like Sherlock?
At that time, he killed him. He didn't like him anymore.
He probably got mad at his inspiration, his friend, that Joe Bell or whoever the guy was, that was his inspiration.
He probably knew that I was going to do a series of Sherlock groans based on this character, and he didn't want to give me that satisfaction.
Speaking of groaning,
You can't get no.
What? Okay, my answer? No guessing?
your trivia. Well, I'm going to guess, but you got to repeat the question. You got to do it the right way.
The guess.
Said because the movie was black and white,
Yeah.
how did they know, or how did you know that she was wearing green?
Well, number one, I'll go with the puppet's answer that it's in the title, and because they tell you it's in green, whether it's a black and white. When they're making the movie on the set, they're not making the movie in black and white. They're making it looking like we are. Just the film was black and white. What, is there a certain thing on the black and white that they made?
Because they were at a green dress ball.
Good answer.
Burn. Burn.
Well, you're sort of right. There was no mention of the colored green wardrobe in the movie. It said it was assumed because of the title that she was wearing green, but it didn't become known for sure until they did a colorized version of it and put her in green.
And what color was she?
His mic's killed.
Are you serious?
There you go.
Are you serious? How
that's
did
a
they know
good question.
the color of the dress
That
was
was a
green?
good question.
Well, they really didn't know it was green because for the title they assumed it was green. But when they colorized it, they knew it was green. But what did they call the movie before they colorized it? The Woman in the Dress?
The woman in a black and white, maybe green dress, we don't know for sure.
Note to self, note to self, note to self.
Mike,
Well,
don't
there's
ever
another one.
forget your
There's
trivia
another one.
ever again.
What was unique about this film when it came to the credits?
We didn't hear you.
They spelled Moriarty's name wrong.
They ran them so fast you couldn't read them.
No.
Uh-oh. Oh! The first time that they didn't say Basil Rathbone as Sherlock Holmes, it was just Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce.
Yeah.
Pow!
There you go. You were reading over my shoulder. Good
no,
job.
I didn't. I read the same tidbit when I was going through my notes.
Yeah, there you go. What? What's that dumb puppet talking
Again,
about?
that doesn't save your... Again,
Hey, I
note to
saved
self.
your ass.
Note to self. With that crappy ass.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Black and white.
Crappy ass is better than no answer.
Title's woman in a great green dress, so that's going to assume he's wearing a green dress.
Oh my gosh.
Note to self. Note to self.
Look at it.
And 3, 2, 1.
Oh boy, this could be a long summer at the G spot. But note to self. Note to self. Never, ever forget your trivia the night of filming.
Adios, muchachos.
Good night, everybody.
It's adios, it's not Edios. Whenever you say Edios, I think you're talking about somebody. Edios. Who's
I was talking
Edios?
to Eddie Harlow.
Eddie Harlow.
That's what I said, adios.
Adios.
Oh, shout out to Eddie Harlow. Oh, I had a voicemail from Eddie Harlow. It just said Eddie Harlow. Hey, it's watch you guys, but it was hard to hear. His phone. Eddie.
Eddie.
Next time you talk, next time you call us, lower the volume a little bit.
I see. What did I tell you? It didn't work with me. Why, nobody with an ounce of character.